Hi there, welcome to Unscripted with me, Grace. Thank you for making time for us. As always, we appreciate your time and your feedback. So we'd love to hear from you after this episode. I want to begin by sharing a quote, as I love to do sometimes. And this quote goes like this: worthy now, full stop. Not if, not when. We are worthy of love and belonging now. Right this minute as is, by Brené Brown. And for me, that is a powerful quote because it pretty much edifies our conversation today with the guest we have. A lady, very young lady, radiates positivity and beauty and happiness, yet what she has gone through in life, many people would be shattered and broken. But today she's here to share her story and to hopefully inspire you. So stay right there. This is Unscripted. Let's begin. Hi there, welcome to Unscripted. Thank you so much for tuning in and making time for us always. We're always happy to see you. And with me today is a special lady, Farah. How do I say your last name? Khaleck.
Khaleck.
Is that correct?
Yes.
Fantastic. Thank you so much for honoring our invite.
Thank you.
I know in a time of a world pandemic and you being extra careful, we appreciate. So we're trying our best. Social distancing. We're wearing our masks in between takes.
Yes.
How are you doing, actually, in light of what's happening in the world?
I'm doing well.
Yeah?
I had my doubts of up and down, but then, I'm trying to keep it positive.
Good.
Yeah.
That's important. I think that's the most important thing.
Yeah, I'm trying my best to just go through each day.
Got it. But first, you can tell us, who is Farah? What did you love? And introduce yourself to the people at home.
Farah is a champion of positivity right now.
That's true.
Yes, I talk about self-love, self-acceptance, body positivity, and I'm a believer. I'm a big believer in God and His ways.
Amen.
I'm also a digital creator and a content creator as well. So I used to be a very bubbly girl. I still am.
I was like, I think you still are.
I always say that and then I'm going, I still am.
Yeah.
I still am. I love life and I love to smile. So, you'll see a lot of that on all my social media.
That's true. In fact, you have a permanent smile, don't you?
Always.
Right?
I always tell them my teeth are out, so then you just smile away.
Might as well smile.
Yeah.
But the fact that you said you used to be a bubbly girl, that means you still feel like something changed.
Yes.
After.
I did change, of course. I used to have all these dreams and aspirations, of course. But yes, they did change.
They did.
And they've grown into something even more bigger than what I thought. So there's a positive thing in that.
Indeed.
Yeah.
We'll get into that.
Yes.
So first tell me about your childhood, how you grew up, where you grew up, and because we're not always like this. So tell me about Farah when you were younger, the younger Farah.
Oh, Farah was a huge fat kid.
Huge fat kid.
Yeah.
Well, that's very
blunt. I was not really huge.
Really?
Yeah. I was a very fat girl. I'm the only girl of 3 brothers.
I see.
So, and I'm the last born. So I was hella pampered. I still am. And I used to be very mysterious. Though my mom thinks I was a very good girl. But my brothers wouldn't say that.
Oh, you know yourself.
They wouldn't say that. Because I always used to know how to get my way around them. I had a great childhood. My parents were the best. I mean, they are the best. They gave us a lot. They gave us comfort, love, and a very nice environment we grew up in. Alhamdulillah, it was a great childhood.
What point did life change as you know it?
As soon as I completed high school, my Form 4, I graduated and then I moved on to college.
Got it.
So while I was in college, that's when, about 17, 18 years then, that's when, slowly I started noticing symptoms.
What are the first signs of your body changing?
My knuckles turning black.
Okay.
So my knuckles turned black, and then every morning my hands would swell up.
I see.
They would really swell, like double the size. When I would wake up, my hands would be double the size. and you know, it would be really hard to hold my hand.
Yeah.
Into
Painful?
Yeah, not painful, but it was hard.
Just uncomfortable. Okay.
Yeah. And then after like an hour or two, they would come back to normal, like nothing happened. And then my thighs, my legs started to feel a bit stiff. Like I couldn't, normally with Ray, as Muslims, you know, with Ray we had to go down to sujood.
Yeah.
I couldn't, somehow I couldn't squat, you know, it would be so hard for me.
Yeah.
So difficult to get my legs to hold.
So what happened at this point when you started noticing your body's not itself?
At the same time, I had also landed my first job as an administrator.
Got it.
So I would go to town, just here on Tadland Road.
Okay.
About, I think, 4 months into my job, and the condition is really getting, because now my skin on my face is also turning dark. But
what did you do when you immediately started, your body began to change? Did you reach out to a doctor? Did you go? Yes. And what did they say?
Initially, the doctors first told me thyroxine, you know, they kept me on steroids. They also told me my vitamin C is low, so I was given doses of vitamin C. But there were no changes as such. You know,
they were just treating different symptoms?
Yeah, they were just treating these different symptoms. And then after, I think, a few visits is when the doctor is like, okay, you know what, you should, because we were seeing like physician, a general physician.
Got it.
So that's when he's like, I'll refer you to someone who deals with arthritis.
Oh.
Yeah. So I went to, I think it was Nairobi Hospital. Yeah. I went there and I saw this doctor, and he wrote some extensive tests to be done. So I, you know, the doctor's like, this is lupus.
Or lupus?
Yes.
That's what they said?
That's what they said. And they gave me steroids. It's a condition with you for life now, and you have to manage it with this steroids. And I'm like, okay, we've never heard of lupus, we had no idea.
At what point did you know that in fact it's not lupus, but you have scleroderma?
So I started with the steroids first, with lupus. So this was about 2007, 8, I think. We went to India, and that's where we found out.
It's scleroderma.
It's scleroderma. This is, I think, 3 years into the disease.
3 years?
Yes.
3 years later?
Yeah.
But how was the reality for, I mean, you're a young girl, you're looking forward to, you know, getting your life and being independent and working
I'm missing
in school.
Job now. I'm like, I need to go to work. You know, why am I not so efficient at work? Because I would be up and down, and I can't go up the stairs all of a sudden.
I see.
And you know, it's getting to me, and all of a sudden I feel like I'm on bouts of diarrhea at work, and I can't control it. So, you know, I'm like, what the hell is happening to me, you know, and it's embarrassing, it's demotivating, it's discouraging, you know, because I'm not delivering as I used to.
Yeah.
And being complimented for being an efficient worker, for all that, and then all of a sudden you're going down. So it's really discouraging.
Yeah.
It's very demotivating. And then when you see yourself in the mirror and you're seeing someone else, not you.
How was that moment when you look in the mirror and you're not seeing Farah?
I never used to look into the mirror.
Really?
I used to be scared, honestly. I was like, what? Who is this? You know? And from the time it started until I was diagnosed with scleroderma now correctly in India, I was a very bitter, negative person. Even after that,
when you discovered that it's scleroderma?
Yes, I was completely shattered there. But you know, try to put on a straight face, because my mom is there with a straight face, and I know she's not feeling good, you know, she's just holding up. And because we don't know what this is, and the doctor is like, you can't do anything much about it, you just have to manage it. So I'm there like, what do you need? What does manage mean to a 19-year-old girl?
Exactly.
What do you mean? Are you saying I'll go back and be able to go to work? Are you telling me I'll continue with my studies? Are you telling me I'll get married? What does marriage mean? You know? So that word really has really annoyed me.
It annoyed you. What emotions
Yeah.
were going through as you're trying to answer those questions? Like you said, will I work again? Will I continue with my studies? Will I get married? What were those questions doing to you as you ask yourself those hard questions?
I was...
Are you angry? Were you...
I was very extremely bitter. I had become a very bitter person. I was very negative. I was nagging a lot. I would just cry sometimes, you know, just cry just for no reason, you know, and oh, it was a horrible place.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, it was a bad place. And when I got back, the steroids I had started, I took them, I remember very well, I took them for about 9 months. And my skin started to change now. So my skin was really dark. It had become really dark.
Yeah.
Now, I had, over here on my arm, I noticed pigmentation.
Okay.
So I'm scratching it, and it's really itchy, you know, so I'm always scratching. So my mom would be like, what's wrong with your arm? I'm like, I don't know, it's really...
Just itchy, yeah.
Itchy, and when you look at it, it's pigmented, so white spots had started. So I'm like, oh, okay, now what is this, you know?
Yeah.
So I thought maybe it must be just because of the itching. Maybe I scratched too hard.
But it happened all over your body?
At first it was this arm and this arm. So all of a sudden this whole arm has started to turn white.
I see.
Okay? And I'm like, okay, what is happening? You know? And at this point my weight is up and down.
Okay.
And I'll be like, no, I don't know. These medicines are not good. The steroids are not going with my body at all. So I'll be like, okay, let's, you know, push on, push on. There came a time I was like, no.
You stopped?
Yeah, and this time it had started all here on my neck area. And then slowly, even in my head, on my skull. So the whiteness continued. So it's just continued growing. But on my legs, I don't have it.
Oh, you don't?
No, I don't have it. So it's just here, a bit here now, where it's extremely hard.
Okay.
Where the skin is really stiff. That's where it is.
Because you mentioned you were bitter and you were angry. How did this one affect your relationship with God? Because you mentioned you're a believer. And when did you get to a point of acceptance? Because like you said, you are the face of positivity online. In fact, you encourage others as opposed to others encouraging you. When did that mind shift happen for you?
It happened about 8 years ago. And so whenever I look into the mirror, I'd be like, God, why? You know, why me? You know? And I must say, I know I used to pray a lot.
Pray?
I know I used to pray 5 times diligently, consistently. You know, I know I used to wear my hijab. And I started watching these YouTube videos of hijab tutorials.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and I'll be like, wow, you know, like, okay, so you can wear hijab like that? And I'll be like, okay. And somehow they would keep popping up, you know?
Okay.
On my feed. And I'd watch them, you know, on a roll, binge watch them. So I started reading about Islam also. And I don't know, it just, you know, slowly started talking to me. So it's like I was annoyed and angry with God, and then He was finding a way back to me to tell me that I'm still here, you know. So I told my mom one day, I had a dream.
Okay.
I had a dream. I had a dream, I was wearing the hijab, and I was very happy. I just saw that dream. And I told my mom...
And you hadn't been happy in a long time?
No. So I told my mom, you know what, I want to wear the hijab. So she was like, are you sure? I'm like, yeah. why? I'm like, I don't know, I just dreamt about it and I want to wear it. It's like, okay, you can wear it, but I don't want you to wear it and then stop. Because that's not right.
Yeah.
Don't play with it. If you're serious, be serious.
True.
I'm like, okay.
And how did your life change when you made that decision?
When the same day, my mom said, okay, fine. I had a hijab at home, I wore it and we were going out. And that day when I looked at myself in the mirror, Grace,
What did you
I
say?
smiled.
You smiled?
Yeah. I did. I was so happy that day, I can't explain.
Really?
Yeah, I loved what I saw because I felt like it was me accepting myself.
So through your faith, you accepted yourself again?
Yes.
That's beautiful. That's beautiful.
Thank
Thank you for
you.
sharing that. We'll take a short break. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Unscripted. Thank you for staying with us. Farah, thank you for sharing your story with us. I love how we ended the first part, where you literally came to a point of, your point of acceptance was going back to your faith and realizing that just as you are, with the changes and transition, God still sees you as perfect. God still sees you as beautiful. What can you tell young girls at home who, they're even okay, they have no condition, but they will go through, whether it's eating disorder or hating themselves, and here you are, as Farah, you're a beam of positivity. What can you tell that girl at home now?
I would tell her to just look at herself in the mirror and just find one thing that she loves about herself instead of always, whenever we look in the mirror, we always see our imperfections.
That's true.
Although they are not. When I look into the mirror, I looked into my eyes and I saw Farah who wanted to live. And somehow I wasn't letting her. So whenever I look into the mirror and I do have my days, it's not that I don't. It's a journey, Grace, it's not easy. But then I also constantly remind myself that no, this is who you are and you're awesome and okay, maybe not that, but maybe there's something else waiting for you, So you have to make that decision for yourself and no one else can make it for you. I had to look into the mirror and raise myself up and look at my beauty because I see it. And when I see it, I don't care if anyone sees it or not.
In fact, when you see it, others see it. It starts with you. Yes. Then you radiate it and then it becomes automatic. I want to talk about, you had mentioned earlier in the beginning about you having dreams. You had dreams to do this and do that. And you've sort of had to morph them and they've become even bigger. What dreams did you have for yourself that now you're like, I don't know if I can do that? What are those dreams?
Right now I want to, I'm also dreaming and also aspiring to open up a foundation where I can have people come and voice their different conditions because I feel like there's so many conditions people don't know about.
That's true.
And they hide them because they think it's something abnormal, well, where it's not, But even I was told like someone has done some magic on you or some of that kind, I mean, of course, the culture that we live in, the African culture, of course there is that you're a taboo, you don't look normal, you are a taboo. Yeah. So I want to open up that space to give that platform to people so that they can, voice their condition and how they feel, to make them feel accepted. Yes, you are different, but you're also able. Yeah, and I feel like
in your difference, you're able.
Yes.
I like how you brought up in the African community, you're either taboo and people have comments. For you in your situation, when you started changing, what was your reality in your surrounding? What would you hear? What did people say?
Family was quite supportive.
Okay.
But yes, when I would go out, people would stare. a lot, and children would get scared, you know, they would scream. So of course I lived in the city, not in the village, so I'm sure it's not so bad. But you can imagine in the village, you could be disowned by the whole village, you know. But when I would go out, children would be scared, you know, and that would make me extra cautious.
I see.
And my mom would force me out of the house. She would always drive me, like, you are going.
That's good.
And I'd be like, no, yes, you're going. You know, she from the initial moments only, she had always thrown me in everyone's face, you know, like, look at her, you know. Good. Like, she didn't hide me.
She never hid you. Good.
She didn't hide me. So every function, everywhere, she would make sure I'm dressed up and you're off.
Oh, that's good.
And at the, you know, the ones who hesitate, no, let's go. We are going.
And what did that do for you, having that support from mom?
It definitely gave me the strength, you know, like, now I would feel better with her, you know, like, okay, it's better. And and now I do go out a lot as well at some time. Okay. So she's given me that strength. So from day one, I never felt like I need to hide myself. Good. And I feel like that's the most important thing I needed at that point, which I got, and alhamdulillah for that.
What do you feel your life's purpose is now as Farah?
Farah now inspires life.
Inspires life?
Yes.
Okay.
That's my motto, that's my tagline. After sharing my story for the first time, the support, the encouragement, the love that I received online was tremendous, and I'm so grateful for it. Yeah. And I felt like if you would have asked this to Farah about 8 years ago, that Farah, you'll be hearing interviews, you'll be talking to you know, hundreds of people somewhere standing.
You speak to people globally, don't you?
Yes.
Look at that.
So I would be like, are you crazy? You know? And it's amazing how things have turned out. I call it the power of owning yourself. Owning yourself? Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Once you take that power, you own yourself, there is no stopping for you. No one can stop you.
There isn't.
There isn't.
Thank you.
You'll fly really high. I don't get to see a person like me on a cover or on the billboards. And I feel like, wow, look at her, you know. So you can imagine.
I like that you did the Vogue challenge though. Yes, I saw it and I loved it. It was beautiful.
I know I don't do challenges. I normally don't do challenges. But this one I was like, you know what? This one is necessary.
It is.
Yes.
Representation matters.
Yes. And I was out there for people who are differently able, who feel like, you know, we can't make it, you know, or I'm just stuck to this wheelchair. What will I ever do? No. You are able. Different is able.
Different is able.
Yes.
And you too have a purpose.
Yes.
We'll be right back. Stay right here. Welcome back. Thank you for staying with us. Farah, thank you for just being a positive energy and encouraging us, as we should be you, but we're sending that same positivity your way. I'm curious to ask you before we talk about the treatment, because as much as doctors said that there is no cure, you've sort of, you know, discovered a way to give yourself, you know, a different future. But before that, what gave you the nudge to come out and share your story?
My very first interview. I hopped onto Instagram after Twitter. I hopped onto Instagram and I would post pictures of myself. Half portraits. And never used to show my hands.
Intentionally.
Yeah, never used to show my hands. So I did like just half. And one journalist, Najma Ismail, she kind of found my account. And she's like, you're always so she thought I had a skin condition. You see, because I mean, I couldn't obviously hide some of my spots.
That's what someone thinks immediately when they see you.
Yeah.
That or a burn.
Or a burn, yes. So she's like, despite your skin condition, you're always smiling in the pictures. Can you come onto my show? And I'm like, at first I'm like, at first I really thought it was a fake account.
You didn't believe someone was?
I was like, I hesitated replying, and then I was like, okay. Then I asked her, is this really Najma? And she's like, yes. And she's like, I really want you to come on my show. I'm like, what am I going to talk about?
Yeah.
And she's like, just about you. We just want to know you about your condition. You're always smiling. And I'm like, okay. I'm smiling. So what will I say, And she's like, okay, yeah. She got my number, and I told her no. So someone's coming down from KTN to do an interview. The mom is really on you. I'm like, yeah, I don't know why. And she's like, okay, let's see. When she came is when she saw me, and she's like, oh, so I'm like, no, it's scleroderma, and this is how it starts and all that. Yeah. So she's like, oh, camera rolling, and I was just
sharing your story.
Yeah, I just shared my story, and after that is when I was like, okay, so this is a thing,
The feedback, how's the feedback you received?
Yeah, I was like, okay, and I'm encouraging someone. At first I didn't understand, like, how am I encouraging? I'm just being me, I'm just being normal. Yeah. How am I encouraging you? No, you encouraged me to smile. There was one message that really stuck to me. A young girl, she sent me a message, she's like, I have a birthmark on my cheek, okay? And I don't go out because of that. Really? How do you go out? And I was like, girl, you know. I felt like streaming through the phone,
yeah.
Like holding her and shaking her up.
Go outside.
Like, girl, what is wrong with you? Yeah. And I'm like, wow. And then that's when it hit me. I'm like, oh my God, there are so many people who are suffering.
Two things. What key lessons have you learned about yourself as Farah? And what are you grateful for?
I have learned that I am a patient person.
Okay.
I never knew I was patient.
Really?
Yeah, I never knew that.
Yeah.
I have learned that I am really patient. I can wait.
I think struggles teach us that,
yeah.
right? Yeah.
Struggles, they teach you how to slow down. And also now the whole world is learning that as well.
Yes,
through
by
COVID.
Force. Yeah.
Yeah, COVID has taught us to become intentional.
That's true.
I had learned that I am strong, although I never believed I was. I am really strong.
That's true.
And saying that sentence, it still shakes me up because I never believed that. I came across this quote when I just accepted myself by Bob Marley. You never know how strong you are until being strong is the only option you have.
That's true.
And that has stuck by me.
Okay.
I was like, okay, there's no other option. So you gotta, suck up and get up and face it.
Strong. Yeah.
So I had learned I am strong.
You're patient and you're strong.
I'm patient, I'm strong.
In a time of a pandemic, when if you have a pre-existing condition, especially an autoimmune disease, meaning you're prone to catching a cold or something happening, what extra special care must someone like Farah take? For those at home who are watching, you could have a patient at home, and also just to enlighten people, let them know why also they must wear a mask and wash, because you never know who you're looking out for. Initially,
I was really scared. I was really anxious. My mom, she would sanitize every surface, wherever I'm seated, I get up and she'd sanitize the table, my phone all the time, constantly that she uses. I can't wash my hands a lot.
I see.
Because of my skin, it's really sensitive.
Got it.
And I can't use sanitizer a lot as well.
I see.
So I have to be very careful. I'm not touching everywhere all the time, So, yeah, and I had to stop going out. So initially it really hit me. I wouldn't hide. I don't want to hide because I know people are going through this. I mean, a normal person is also getting hit mentally as well.
Yeah, of course.
It's really scary.
Yeah.
Because you don't know, you know. I'm trying to keep myself home as well. So yeah, basically if you just follow all the rules, avoid contact with strangers. I don't touch anyone. When someone comes home as well, I go into the other room. I don't meet people a lot, strangers especially. So yeah.
It's an isolation.
Yeah, I'm in my own isolation.
I know.
Yeah.
I know. So it takes a lot of staying positive.
Yes, it does. It does.
Tell us about the stem cell research and how that has changed things for you as you know it. What is the difference between before Farah began and where Farah is now, and what is left to go?
Stem cell is basically your body's cells or a donor's cells. They normally inject those into your body. So those new cells come and produce other new cells which now heal the sick cells that you have in your body. So I came across this in 2018. 2018, beginning, and I did a lot of research. One article after another, you know, so you start going deeper and deeper. And I saw a lot of people with scleroderma having so much improvements with their mobility, with their overall health, with their skin elasticity, you know, and some on wheelchairs, they are not using the wheelchairs anymore. Some are not so tired anymore, you know, some are stronger, and some their skin is completely elastic.
Really?
Yeah.
They made a full recovery?
Yes.
Wow.
So I got in touch with this doctor, Geostar, and he was so positive. I was like, huh? You know, I was skeptic. He was really positive. He's like, you're okay, you know, it's not so bad. And I give you, you know, about 95% recovery chances. And I was like, okay, you know, and that's the first Dr. Grace that has actually given me hope. You know, so that's a big deal.
It is.
Yeah, and I was like, okay, at first I was like, I hate doctors, but not anymore, I think.
And what was the difference when you began?
When I began, the first treatment, the first session, I come out and I'm like, I'm hungry.
Oh, your appetite was back?
Yes.
You had lost appetite completely?
I had lost appetite. And the doctor is like, there you go now, you know. You need to really take good care of your eating system now. You have to eat very healthy, a high protein diet, because my protein is very low, and I need to build my muscles. Now I don't have muscles.
I see.
So if you see now, basically under the skin, it's just bones. There's no muscle. So when I grow the muscle, is when my skin will be elastic.
I see.
So
you need lots of protein.
Yeah. So I do have a lot of protein. He told me you need to have 4 eggs a day.
Wow.
I was like, wow. You know, so I'm slowly getting there. I have more strength.
Good.
I had also a blood transfusion done, so my hemoglobin is at 9 when I left India. That's after 2 months of treatment. So they had to immediately increase it, because if I would be put on iron tablets, it would take time.
Okay.
So
and before that, it was at 4, you had mentioned. Now you're at 9.
Now I'm at
Good.
9.
Good.
So I don't get tired now. I can walk up the stairs without stopping. So a lot has improved. I'm out and a lot. I took part in a marathon this year.
I saw that.
Yeah,
well done.
and I was on a wheelchair, but I did take part.
Good.
So that was a huge deal for me. I was so happy, because that was also another achievement for me. When I took part in last year, I could walk only about 2 kilometers.
Okay.
2 or 3. three kilometers,
Yeah.
and I was done. I couldn't breathe, so I had to really get off the track, and I rushed myself home. And I promised myself that day, I was like, you know what, next year I'm going
to do it.
Yeah. And the time came, I'm like, girl, you can't even walk. What are you going to do? And then I'm like, no. My mom said he'll do it on a wheelchair.
Good.
I'm
You
like,
still took part.
no, that's not what I had in mind. But she's like, you'll do it on the wheelchair even, but at least you did it, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, I did it on the wheelchair, and I was so happy.
Good job.
I was so happy. I was like, wow, I did it. And just grateful to God that I could live another year and take part, and actually complete. When I crossed the finish line on foot, I stopped the wheelchair a few meters, and then I walked to the finish line, and I was like, I did it. I felt like I actually ran, and I was like, inshallah, I will run also.
You will
one
run.
day, yes.
But first, what changed for you physically?
Physically, my skin is now getting elastic. My arms here are much softer, all here. My thighs are really soft now. So I'm much softer. I can, bend my knees more further.
That had stopped.
Yeah.
I see.
I couldn't do that. I can bend my knees further. I can even lift my arms up. Sometimes if I want to do something, I can do it.
Okay.
And my digestion has improved. I am gaining weight. I lost a lot of weight, so I'm gaining weight. I'm not so tired anymore. I had the strength. Good. And yeah, it has really changed, and I'm hoping for more progress with the future sessions.
So how many more sessions are required, and what will the end result be?
Progress is slow, because it's as the cells grow.
I see.
That's how you'll see the changes. When I came back from India, there was a time I got a pimple on my face, and I jumped so hard. I was like, I have a pimple. And I'm like, you're crazy. I'm like, no, I have a pimple. Yeah. That means you can pinch me. And she's like, oh yeah, I can pinch you now. So yeah.
You appreciate even those things, the small things.
You have to.
Like that.
And my friends are like, girl, you're so crazy. I'm like, no, you guys cry when you see your pimples. I am happy when I see them.
And now that you've begun treatment and you're seeing like a light at the end of the tunnel, what are the hopes, your hopes for yourself, the hopes for Farah that you have?
Most importantly, I hope to be completely able, to be able to do my stuff myself, to be able to comb my hair, lift a glass up with one hand. I want to do that. Yeah. Inshallah, I'm very hopeful it will happen with my treatments. The way it's going with me, and I'm really, really positive and grateful that I saw this option. It was revealed to me, and yeah, I'm hoping for healing. I'm hoping to be move ahead in my life now with my career. I'm looking for a job.
Oh, great.
Yeah, I am. I'm excitedly looking for a job. And yeah, move forward as well. With my love life, I have like zero experience, so I'm excited.
You're excited to begin that journey?
Yeah, I'm excited to begin that journey.
Because you want to start a family and all of that, don't you?
Yes, of course.
Oh, bless. May it all come to be, in God's perfect timing.
Inshallah, yes.
Thank you so much for sharing your story.
Thank you for having me.
For radiating your positivity and reminding us that there is beauty in all of us.
Yes.
Thank you so much, Farah.
Thank you, Grace.
I hope at home she's inspired you as she has me. If you want to reach out to her, can you share your details?
Yes.
If anyone wants to reach out to you.
I'm Farah Khaleck on all social media platforms.
Great.
You can always send me a message, I'll respond. And yeah, let's be friends.
Let's be friends.
Yes.
I like that. Let's all be friends in this season and stay positive. Thank you so much for watching. Until next week, goodbye and God bless.